Do you think Air Roll left right offers anything important as opposed to very fancy freestyler type mechanics? If so, what is that advantage? And can you demonstrate it? Well, I can demonstrate it because as a keyboard player, I already have the advantage, and that is that you can half flip in a straight line backwards. The reason why is without regular air roll left and right, you can't diagonal air roll fast enough like this. Like notice in a keyboard, I'm tapping my jump key. I'm tapping it. And my car is still making the full rotation. I'm tapping my jump. I'm not holding it. Now if I hold jump, my car is gonna like go so far on a diagonal rotation that it's gonna land like on the far edge and nearly fall over that way. Now if you do that on a controller, you're not gonna go that far because a controller doesn't air roll as fast as a keyboard unless you use the air roll left and right buttons, which I've bound to O and P because the default is Q and E for keyboard, but I don't want air roll left right because keyboard it gives you no advantage whatsoever, except for freestyling really. I mean, I guess you might be a little bit more precise on keyboard if you do it, but you don't need it on keyboard because keyboard does air roll at max speed with just the air roll button. This left shift, it will give you full speed air rolls. But on a controller it won't. The LB is what I had it on for when I was playing controller. It doesn't give you full speed diagonal air rolls. It gives you like, I think 80% speed in both directions. So on a controller you would need these, but they're not bound by default. The air roll left, air roll right. Keyboard you don't need them to get max speed air rolls. That's why if you try and do a half flip straight back on a controller, you can't do it because the car literally won't turn fast enough. Like when you backflip, your car will not be able to physically turn around like on the spot like this. I mean, you could try it. Go backflip on a controller with default controls and try and land on your wheels facing the opposite direction. You can't do it. That's why controller players need to do like half flips at 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock like this so that they can turn around, like kind of, but not all the way. Like keyboard half flips are always really clean and straight back, which is also advantageous because you can like boost a bit earlier out of them. But sometimes, I mean, sometimes you want to half flip a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left, so controller's fine. But sometimes you want to half flip straight back, and that's when you need that full speed air roll. But yeah, also like just having a faster air roll is better for recoveries. It's better for aerial games. So yeah, I mean, I would say that there's tons of advantages for the air roll left and right buttons. Tons of them. Because you literally air roll faster if you do them. You can like, okay, let me just explain something. If you jump in the air and you air roll left using the air roll left keybind, it will be the same speed as if you jump in the air and you air roll left using your air roll button and the joystick. They're both going to be the same. So is a forwards and a backwards air roll. It's also going to be the exact same. It's only when you go diagonally that using the air roll left keybind on your controller combined with the air pitch forward or backwards on your joystick, that's when you can go faster. Like if you jump in the air, throw your joystick to 10:30, you won't be able to air roll as fast as this as a keyboard player. It's just like your car literally won't turn as fast. But yeah, does that make sense, RJC? That explanation. I take it with a grain of salt because I am a keyboard player. So what do I know about controller stuff, right? You've been half flipping with only one flip. Is that okay? What do you mean? Half flipping with only one flip. One jump. Well, like this. A manual flip. I mean, if... It depends what you mean by is that okay? If you mean, does that also turn my car around 180 degrees, then yes, it does. And that is perfectly an okay way to turn your car around.
To say hello from YouTube.
But so is manual flipping.
It's the reason I'm any good at Rocket League.
Half flipping without the flip, just half jumping, I guess is what you could call this, or manual half flipping, is as okay as front flipping like this. Which, by the way, I have seen someone do. I couldn't believe it when I saw it, but there was clearly a new player in Rocket League who had seen everybody else flipping around the field to gain speed. Probably one of their friends said, hey, just if you front flip, your car goes faster. And they were going, okay. I'll be right there, guys. I'm on my way. I'm front flipping for speed. It's the funniest thing I ever saw. I mean, bless him. Imagine. Oh yeah, I think it's working. I think my car is going faster. Unreal. I couldn't believe it. Poor guy. That hurts to watch. Please stop. Don't mock the guys. I'm not. Listen, I didn't name and shame anybody. Even though I could. I'm not going to. People named and shamed. We all know it was Lenny.